Continuing of reading of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, text 1 to 3. Yesterday we read about the duties of a sannyasi. Now in the next item, Krishna is speaking all about the divine qualities. So the next item is charity. Charity is meant for the householders. The householders should earn a livelihood by an honorable means and spend 50% of their income to propagate Krishna consciousness all over the world. Thus, a householder should give in charity to institutional societies that are engaged in that way. So why charity should be given by householders? Because it's only in the householder life that, before the householder life, it is brahmachari life. So brahmacharis, they don't have money. They are just under the order of the guru. Then in householder life, we get the opportunity to make money. Then again, after householder life, then we take vanaprast. Vanaprast means retiring. So again, no, not getting income. And then the last stage is sannyasi. So also no income. So all the three stages, actually, those three stages are more focused on developing, on engaging in spiritual activities. Only in the householder life, in the grihastha ashram, do we have the opportunity to make money. And then if in the grihastha ashram, we do not do charity, we are just getting more and more attached to our own possessions. And then with that, we are just going to get attached in this life. But anyway, we have to give it up when we are going to give this life. It's not going to stay with us. So the best use of this money that we are collecting is to help support the Krishna consciousness movement so that the brahmacharis, the vanaprast, and the sannyasis can propagate this Krishna consciousness all over the world and make everyone fortunate. So that's the best use of money. Charity should be given to the right receiver. There are different kinds of charity, as will be explained later on. Charity in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Charity in the mode of goodness is recommended by the scriptures, but charity in the modes of passion and ignorance is not recommended because it is simply a waste of money. So somebody might say, "Arey, I'm giving charity. How come there can be charity in mode of ignorance? How come there's charity in mode of passion? What's this? I thought all charity is good." But no, Krishna says, anything that we do, there's three modes of nature. So even charity has gotten goodness, passion, and ignorance. Goodness means we are giving charity to the right person at the right time without expecting anything in return. In the mode of passion, then we are giving charity, but we are giving it that, oh, people are going to recognize me. I'm so great. My name should come. I give this charity. My name should be written on how much I have given. Everybody should know what I'm doing. I should receive something in return. At least I should get name or fame. If I'm not getting name, fame, then that person should do something for me. That's why I'm doing that. That is charity in the mode of passion. And then charity in the mode of goodness is we are giving to people who are going to use that money and engage in sinful activities. They might go eat meat with that, or they might drink alcohol, or gamble, or visit a prostitute. So that is charity in mode of ignorance. So charity should be given only to propagate Krishna consciousness all over the world. That is charity in the mode of goodness. So reading on, then as far as Dhamma, self-control is concerned, it is not only meant for other orders of religious society, but is especially meant for the householder. Although he has a wife, a householder should not use his senses for sex life unnecessarily. There are restrictions for the householders, even in sex life, which should only be engaged in for the propagation of children. If he does not require children, he should not enjoy sex life with his wife. Modern society enjoys sex life with contraceptive methods or more abominable methods to avoid the responsibility of children. This is not in the transcendental quality, but is demoniac. if anyone, even if he is a householder, wants to make progress in spiritual life, he must control his sex life and should not beget a child without the purpose of serving Krishna. If he is able to beget children who will be in Krishna consciousness, one can produce hundreds of children. But without this capacity, one should not indulge only for sense pleasure. So why is Krishna saying that? Krishna is saying because sex life is what actually keeps us in the material world. It's the greatest attraction that we have that keeps us in the material world. So he's saying, if you want to have sex, you have children. And if you want to have children, you make them Krishna conscious. Then only you should have children. Otherwise, don't. So, because by having Krishna conscious children, we are helping the child to further their devotional service, to further in their relationship with Krishna. Otherwise, it is going to be just, we are going to get ourselves more attached and we are going to make the children also more attached. So this is what Krishna is saying. And then sacrifice is another item to be performed by the householders because sacrifices require a large amount of money. Those in the other orders of life, namely brahmacharya, vanaprasth, and sannyas, have no money. They live by begging. So performance of different types of sacrifice is meant for the householders. They should perform Agnihotra sacrifices as enjoined in the Vedic literature. But such sacrifices at the present moment are very expensive, and it is not possible for any householder to perform them. The best sacrifice recommended in this age is called Sankirtan Yajna. So before, the Agnihotra sacrifices would be done, and it would be always the money would be given by the householders, because the brahmachari, the vanaprasth and sannyasis, they don't have money. They are engaged in spiritual activities. They don't work to earn income. And so the householders, the grihasthas, would support. In the original Vedic society, that was the system. They would support the three sections of society. And then now in this Kali Yuga, it's not possible to make all these fire sacrifices. And the best sacrifice that Lord Chaitanya came to give us is Sankirtan Yajna. This Sankirtan Yajna, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the best and most inexpensive sacrifice. Everyone can adopt it and derive benefit. So these three items, namely charity, sense control, and performance of sacrifice, are meant for the householder. So it doesn't mean that only the householders have to do the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. No, the brahmacharis, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis, they are also doing it. You know, that's the focus of life. So a grihastha also should engage in chanting the holy name. And that's the best sacrifice they can do. So is that okay?
Yes.
So then we can stop here for today. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Govinda ki jai, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.